My name is Lizzie. Each fortnight or so, I have been bringing along a different origami fold to encourage you to take some time out for your self-care. So I'm part of the team in UCLH Hospital and within oncology, encouraging patients and staff to get creative in support of their well-being. Times when you get immersed and forget about everything else is really important, whether too busy or too worried, and origami can be a lovely tool to help lift the mind, inspire you to find beauty in the simplest thing of a piece of paper. So this week I am bringing along, it's such a classic thing to make out of paper, out of origami. It's a swan, and paper suits it so well. They're long, elegant necks, and I think this is just such a delightful fold. There's so much detail in it. The back of it, the shape of it, it's so elegant and beautiful, and it will sit there really nicely. You could use scrap paper. I've used some scrap paper here, and a little bit of colour or detail could appear as well. So it's from this book, which is from the 1980s, that I picked up, Paper Folding Fun, Origami in Colour, and it seems to be a mixture of folds. I think mostly traditional. I think this is a traditional fold, so we're going to follow that. And this book has a lovely introduction by a lady, Sue Lell, in there as well. So, but it's from the 1980s, it's from a little while ago, and I think this is a classic piece of origami. So grab yourself some paper. Definitely white paper is needed, I think, for a swan. I'm going to make a really big one. Like this one, I just feel like making a big swan, but it also looks gorgeous if you make a little tiny one. It's almost like the table becomes a pond. So first of all, I'm going to make myself a square. So I'm going to take a corner, line up along here to make a right angled triangle. We're just making a square, and just enjoy the feel of the paper, the noises, the textures, giving it a good strong fold. You can almost imagine the swan's going to rise out of this. We're going to remove this rectangle. So turn it over and bring it back, or you could cut it off. Going to squash it down there. There we go, good strong fold. Like so. Looks like a Robin Hood's hat. Undo it a little bit, and then all you need to do is a little tiny tear there. Put your hand close to the edge, and you should be able to tear that off, or you could maybe cut it off if you preferred, whichever. So open it up. If you've got origami paper, then I guess this would be, well, actually you'd want your white side, wouldn't you? This would be the coloured side then. So it's got one diagonal line, so make sure there's a diagonal line. Then open it up, and we're going to take the outside and bring it along this diagonal line, like so. There we go. And then the same with the other ones, so they meet, and it starts to look a little bit like a kite, I guess. And just take your time, enjoy encouraging the paper to lie down in the right position. I guess make it nice and sharp if you can. So there we go. So this shape now. So as it is, fold it in half, like so. I'm just going to turn it the other way up, like so. There we go. So we're going to take this bottom edge and lift it up here, like so. It's going to lift it up there. It's easier on a solid surface. Lovely kind of crunchy noises from the paper going on here as well. There we go. Trying to make a nice little point if you can. It will all help. Good thing is with paper you can always fold again. I'm going to do the same thing on the back. So lifting this up. And I think in a moment you'll start to see already that the back of the swan is forming, and this very long area is the long neck that will form. I don't know if any of you know the origins of this one. I mean, I think it's certainly become traditional. I don't know whether this was with Robert Harbin or the Japanese fold. I don't actually know. Right, so it's looking like this. It could even be a plane, couldn't it? So I'm just gonna, I guess with animals you often do folds to show where it's going, and then you sort of undo it to make it then fold up in itself. It's a lot more technical, the animal side, and I don't quite know the words, but I'm trying not to use the words anyway, so it's nice and accessible. So here, folding it up like this, and you can see then it feels like the swan. There we go, like that. There we go. Got a good fold there, but that just wouldn't look good, would it? So next you undo it and then put your fingers in, and then I'm kind of opening it and bringing it up using that line kind of in on itself, and can you see then it's that fold sort of disappears into itself like that. There we go. You can see it's already beginning to form this lovely, lovely swan, and there's some really nice details in it with fairly not too many folds at all, so the animals can get quite complicated, and I'm keen to just keep things simple for you. So next we're going to work on the head. So we're going to take this, doesn't matter if you fold it front or back, it's just making a line, and this head's way too big, but it's because we're going to end up doing some details on the head to be able to make a beak. So I've done a line there, and it's the same thing. I'm going to open it up and then flipping it around that, so again it's coming around on the outside, and it looks pretty good, but it's not quite right. So we're going to do almost a sort of a little crimped effect, so thinking about where the beak will go. So it will be individual, you know, yours will be different to mine. So back and then forward, leaving behind a little bit there. And it's really so you have a nice little different height of the beak, which is what will come. But at the moment, I've just kind of gone zigzag back, and that obviously wouldn't be good enough. So again, this is almost like sketching it out before you get it in place. You can see I'm not as experienced on the animal folds. So, but it's all, you know, it's what's lovely is it will be quite individual and unique. So again, I'm sort of pushing in on the area where I've made a line, and that's going to go in. And all of this could probably be a bit better, but I'm definitely going to be kind on myself because this is what it's all about, these sessions. You're learning, I'm learning. And then I'm bringing this one forward like so, and then squashing it down around it, and you'll see, and I think you'll just learn from your own experience too how it will work. And this really does remind me quite a bit actually of a swan's head, because they really have quite a prominent sort of arch almost over their beak, don't they, or it's part of it. So play around with it until you're happy. I feel quite happy with that. How's that looking? You know, it will vary each time. It's looking rather elegant. We can do the tail even better as well. So I'm going to take this top edge and line it up there. And there's something just wonderful about creating little animal and birds. They're just so uplifting. I don't know about you, if you go down to a river or a pond and see swans, and they're elegant, they're a bit scary, but they're beautiful. So opening it up, and the same thing again, we're just using this as a line. So I'm opening it and I'm pushing it inwards along those lines that you've made. I'm pushing it in, and that would obviously stick down too much. At the moment that would stick down too much. So I'm then going to take the bit that sticks down and bring it up inside itself so it sticks up, and it even adds an extra level of detail there. I'll just show you one more time. So I pushed it in along the lines that we'd folded, and then taking the bottom and I'm bringing just that bottom up. There we go, like so. So the point that feels right to you. As I said, I think this will vary. And there we go. I think that's it. I think your swan is ready to glide along. Maybe another time we can make some little signet for it as well. So it's coming up to spring here. I hope that worked for you. Hope it will give you delight. Maybe you can start trying to make some tiny ones as well. It doesn't have to small, but it can be quite fun making them small as well. A whole little scene that you could make, maybe on some blue paper, and let them float around. I hope that's been a lovely way to immerse your mind into something completely different. Thank you. Bye bye.